E04a FM and Seymour FM present My Other Job, a radio series about volunteering.
Now, I'm here at Kilmore Hospital with 3 volunteers from different areas of the hospital and all with pretty interesting different stories to tell. Now, Anne had a bit of a hospital background, so was that part of your decision making to come and volunteer at the hospital to say, well, I'm familiar with hospitals, I'll see what I can do?
Yes, it was. When I finished work, it was because I was physically unable to continue, but mentally I felt that I wasn't finished and I would like to do something. I still felt that I had something to contribute. And in a hospital setting, a nursing home setting, that was the ideal mix and match for me.
So you didn't sort of think after a long time in the hospital industry, oh, I'm out of it. But in fact, what you've gone into is a different phase from what you were saying to me earlier on. It's not so much the management and that sort of thing. It's more of the behind the scenes, but very important roles.
Yes, I do quite a bit of background work. Sometimes it will be talking to the patients that are there. Some of them are there long term and they just like somebody to talk to, somebody to go in. I deliver the paper to them, talk about what's on the headlines in the paper, that sort of thing. I also do some paperwork. I make up packs of information and pamphlets for the new mothers to take home so that when they go home they've got a little bit of time to sit and read instead of trying to absorb all the information that they're given in hospital. Things like that.
Right. And you were telling me that there are occasions when maybe somebody's just a bit distressed or there's a child in there or someone, and the staff will say, get Anne, ask her to come and talk to these people.
Yes, that's true. I have been asked a couple of times to come and do a little bit of child minding. Perhaps the mother is unwell or the child themselves might be unwell, or they have a brother and sister who has just been born and the toddler is there creating a bit of havoc. So, mum sort of wants the little kid out of the way for a little bit while she can get down to what she's there for. So yes, I've had a few little incidents like that, but the kids are all fine. They're very happy.
Just have somebody to talk to.
That's it.
Now, Kay has a different role and an equally challenging one, I would have thought. So what was your decision-making process in deciding, well, look, I know the hospital is a very worthy organisation, so maybe I can do something to help?
I came from a background of school administration and I used to work a lot of hours. It's very long hours. And I was concerned when I retired that I'd be lost, I'd have nothing to do. Now, I came up here the day of the 150th celebrations. I came to listen to my sister sing. And I just walked into the old training building and my husband was talking to some of the auxiliary ladies and I wanted to do volunteering and he knew that. And when I came back to meet my husband, I was a member of the hospital auxiliary.
So it wasn't your decision so much. What happened then, I suppose, you think, what have you done, Frank?
Well, I did go home and say to Frank, what did you do to me? But when I thought about it and I came along to the first meeting, the ladies were absolutely delightful and all of a sudden I really felt as though I fitted in and I had found my niche. So it took me a couple of years to go on to the executive, but it was such a fulfilling role. We fundraise for the hospital and the things that we do for the hospital outside, like we sit and sell raffle tickets. The people you meet selling raffle tickets are absolutely amazing and they love our hospital. They support our hospital without even blinking an eye. So it has become a very fulfilling role. I love it.
And I'll bet the people in the hospital, the various doctors and what have you, who draw up their wish list and think, oh, I love the auxiliary. I hope they put my machine on the top of their list.
Well, we get a wish list. It's usually about twice a year.
Right.
And it goes across from Caledania to the hospital to Dianella. The executives sit down with that list and we pick out a number of items. The treasurer's there with the bank balances, so we know what we can spend. And we work out what we think is a really good priority. We've just recently approved $16,000 odd worth of equipment for right across the hospital. So, it's just so fulfilling. Absolutely.
I reckon.
And to see the smiles when you say, yes, you can have this equipment. Yeah.
Now, the third member here is Gary, and he has a different role again. Was your decision to get involved nudged along by somebody else as well?
My decision was nudged very much by others. My daughter works in food services here at the three facilities, and at a point my wife came into Caledonia with her, and Yitka, our volunteer coordinator, suggested that Gary might be suited to more than one thing at Caledonia. So I've done that and done it since and love doing it.
So it wasn't too difficult a decision. I gather it sounds like it'd be partly made for you, but when they were talking to you about the things that they were looking for you to do, it sounded like it was something, I think I could do that.
Absolutely.
Being a good talker sounds like a very critical role in Caledonia from what you were saying.
Can do. We've had several up there. I at one point used to come in once a week and talk about the races on a Friday with two men in particular. They both love the horse, were incapable of going to the races or anything like that, but mind you, we did get one to go to the races. But we used to talk about the form, whether we picked winners or not, but we seriously tried, and we had lots of nice times with that.
Produced by Mitchell Community Radio E04a FM in partnership with Seymour FM and the Mitchell Shire Volunteer Advisory Panel. Funded by the Community Broadcasting Foundation.